Hi, welcome back. This is the Whisky Snob for another edition of our video reviews. Today I'm going to be continuing with our Japanese whiskey series and going to be tasting this Ichiro's Malt Chichibu port pipe. As you can see from the colour, it's pink. Now that's because of the colourings that it takes on from the port casks. This was a limited release, 4,200 bottles. This is bottle 3,378. It's 54.5% in alcohol, so it's quite meaty. And it's also only a 4-year-old whiskey. There is some history behind this whiskey, and Ichiro Akito, who is the founder of Ichiro's Malt, is the grandson of a distiller in Japan that used to have the Hanyu distillery, which closed down. And I'm not sure exactly how long ago, maybe 10 or 15 years ago, he decided that he was going to start producing again. So he went and opened a micro distillery and has been producing some fantastic malts. If you've read the blog, you've read my Mizunara Wood review, which for me was fantastic. It's an amazing whiskey, and if you get a chance to get your hands on some, then please do. But not to take up too much time, I'm going to get stuck straight in. The thing with port whiskies, port finished whiskies, is the undeniable sweetness that you get from the nose and also on the palate. Some people love it, some people dislike it. I know personally, a friend of mine who came to one of my tastings, who had never had whiskey before, this was her favourite whiskey, regardless of the fact that it was a lot stronger, regardless of the fact that it was unknown. This has become her favourite, and I managed to get my hands on a couple of bottles for her, which she loves. And some people who are more seasoned whiskey drinkers just might not be into it that much. So what I'm going to just jump straight into this. Wow. Okay. So immediately, lots of sweetness on the nose, honey. A little bit of Turkish delight actually as well, which is quite cool. Anything else there? A little bit of oak. It is quite strong. You can smell that alcohol, obviously, because it's a 4-year-old whiskey. And a little bit of rose water. Again, probably from the Turkish delight, that sweetness. On the palate, nice and strong. Port, it comes through. On the nose it was there, on the palate, that port is the first thing to hit you. Again, that sweetness. Oak, and spice, actually. We have a little bit of some aromatic spices, black peppercorn, and the finish is really hot. There's some masala sort of spices there. Just going for that again. Again, quite woody, oak and spice, lots of strong characteristics from that port. It's a great whiskey. Because it is quite strong, you can get away with adding quite a lot of water into it. I've added quite a few drops there, probably around 1 ml of water. And what that does, immediately it opens up that nose. Makes it easier to get right in there. Imparts more of that sweetness from the Turkish Delight. You can now actually start smelling some rose hips. And again, I think even before I might have tasted it on the palate. The palate's just opened up. Wow, some cocoa, some chocolate. The heat is still there. Real strong spiciness to it. Really strong spiciness to it, but it's really, really good. That sweetness is still there. Some almost, again, even on the palate, the honey, some dark sugars. Wonderful, really wonderful. Rose hips on the finish, lots of black peppercorn, a little bit of cinnamon, maybe even some like cherry pie. It's crazy, I know, but it's there. Yeah, definitely. I know these are quite hard to come by. Again, not much in there. Luckily, I was smart enough to pick up a few extra bottles, so I've got some in reserve, as you can see. That's why I've got a big smile on my face. Definitely enjoy bringing this one out when friends come over and they enjoy sweet or sherried or port cask finished whiskies. Let me know what you think. If you've had other port pipe whiskies, such as the ones that have come out from Longrow or any others, please do let me know. Let me know what you think. If you've had this before, I'd like to hear what your thoughts are. If you've got any other tasting notes from it, that'd be really, really interesting. Once again, thank you very much for joining me. Cheers.